Hey there, it's Zach. Just want to make a video today about a lot of people have been asking, like, talking to me about how how expensive it is or how expensive it must be to be on carnivore and this and that, and like I really don't think that people grasp the how you know when I talk about carnivore, I'm talking about it as a lifestyle. It's not just like what I eat, right? So carnivore lifestyle means I am avoiding toxins. I'm cutting out things that are bad for me. I'm not eating processed anything. I'm not drinking processed anything. I'm not taking any supplements. I don't know how much cheaper you can get. I mean, you're. I don't know if you've been online, but you're just constantly being bombarded with like, advertising and buy this supplement, buy that. There's really no um, there isn't a cheaper diet. I mean, today I was at Costco and I actually have some ribs on the smoker. And I got some ribs that were like $3.99 a pound. I mean, big ribs. It was like $20 for me and the family to eat for 2 days. So I, and that's all we're pretty much eating, minus a little bit of fruit. The kids and the wife still eat a little bit of fruit. I'm not eating fruit, but it's not only is it cheaper, but like think about the mental health and the physical health aspects of what happens when you eat a standard American diet. I mean, you're constantly taking medication. I mean, if you take any sort of medication, you're not healthy, right? Medication and health don't mix. It's quite the opposite. If you're taking some sort of a medication, it's guaranteed that you're unhealthy, and that you need some change. Um, just like the thing with the school shooting not too long ago. Um, it all goes down to mental health. The one thing that I noticed from carnivore right off the bat was like mental stability and not needing to find an outlet for like different things to bring about happiness. I mean, just felt like whole and good as a person just from having eliminated all the toxins. And I think that's the big part of it is these you don't really know what you're missing until you're like don't have all that. Um, and it's hot outside. I got these ribs going at 250 on the smoker. We'll see how long they take, but I still like them a little pink in the inside, so I'm not gonna let them go too long. But um, yeah, I just the mental health aspect of it, and not having to you'll spend less money on crap that you don't need to try to impress people you don't like, that kind of thing. Like you just have no desire to spend money on things that are not good for you, like alcohol. You're just like, oh, I don't know if I can give up beer. I don't know if I can give up that. I mean, the purpose of a carnivore diet is to change your relationship with food. And I've said this before. You're not. This isn't a diet to lose weight. This is a proper human diet, and you're doing it because you want to be human. You want to any species that eats food that's not appropriate for them, they get sick. They get you know and that's what we have. Like, and people want to focus on cholesterol and this and that, and it's like half the people that have heart attacks have normal cholesterol. Cholesterol has nothing to do with it. Cholesterol is actually a marker for health. Higher cholesterol is a marker for health. The actual there's new studies. The measurement that they have, under 200 or whatever. If your cholesterol is in the normal range, you actually increase your risk for mortality. Uh, so your chances of dying go up. That's not a good thing. Low cholesterol isn't necessarily a marker for health, and the fact that everybody focuses on that, everybody's like, oh, you all you eat is meat. You're gonna. Unfortunately for me, I actually found out on my calcium score that I've had a long history of damaging my arteries, and a lot of that's from drug use and stuff like that. But I'm actually pretty sure that the carnivore diet saved my life now, and I know that right now. I didn't know that in the last 6 months that I've been doing it, but I had that coronary calcium score, and my score came back at 137 in one area. So 137 is a moderate risk, and it was only in one lower ascending aorta, which is what they call the widowmaker. So if I would have kept on and people are gonna say, oh, it's because you're eating meat. No, that doesn't happen in 6 months. A 137 takes years. Like probably since I was in my 20s. So since I've been in my 20s, I drink a lot of alcohol. I had a history with cocaine, like, partying and drinking, staying up late, eating terrible food. Pizza used to be my favorite. And you know what? Everybody would look at me and say, "Oh, you're the picture of health. You look good." And I always tell people this: health is not being physically fit. It's not even being, not fat. If anything, having muscles is actually a liability. Um, so it takes more for your body to maintain muscle, and it's a liability on your health. So it's not a marker of health. People are like, oh, look at this vegan, it works out and lifts weight and bodybuild. Well, that doesn't mean that the person's healthy, and I'm a perfect example of that. If I'd have kept on the diet that I was on, I would be probably wouldn't be here. At 137, that my marker for a heart attack in the next 10 years is like 10 times what it would be if I hadn't had any in my artery. So, and unfortunately, there is a history of that in my family, and I know why. It's from eating carbohydrates, right? And if I would have never known about carnivore, I never would have introduced myself to it. I probably never would have even checked my calcium score. I'd have kept doing what I was doing, and probably wouldn't be here. I got 2 kids, two beautiful kids. Now I got a chance to turn it around. And all the people that I used to party with and stuff like that, I wonder, like what their arteries look like and this and that, and luckily for me, I didn't need to knock on death's door in order to make a change, but a lot of people have to, right? I made a change before I even knew, I don't feel any symptoms from that or from the calcium in my arteries, but down a few years from now, who's to say I wouldn't? And that might have been a big eye opener, but luckily for me, I have a chance to change it. Now I have a chance to turn things around, and but man, they call that artery when it gets blocked the widowmaker, right? So it's a widowmaker heart attack, which means that you typically don't make it. About less than, I think it's 12% people survive a heart attack in that when that artery gets blocked. So good news is I have a chance to check it and get it done every couple of years and see if it goes down or if it improves or stays the same. So but I was at first I was thinking, well, maybe it's going to come back zero because I've been relatively healthy, always been fit, but that stuff catches up with you. You think it doesn't, but man, it will get you. I mean, now I'm so much leaner and a lot healthier and less. I was I got up to 180 something. I wasn't fat, but I was thicker and holding on to some weight. Now I'm 155. I've lost some weight, so I know that's good. That's a good sign. Eating more meat than I ever have in my life, and I feel great. But I just wanted to put a warning out there. If you may think that you're healthy. I thought I was, right? I'm only 37. And I got an artery that's been, being assaulted since probably in my early 20s, and I had no idea. Some of us are more susceptible to things than others, and unless you get a CAC score, you're not going to know. I never would have known. So, the last, couple, I think 2 days that I've known, it's just been like, a big eye opener. Like, hey, your time on Earth is limited, and you have to do what's best for your health and best for the people around you, and you got to start now. You can't start later, right? Yeah, that's crazy. So yeah, my CA score came back pretty. It wasn't good. So, but who knows if it's improved over the last 6 months? It's very possible that my score was even worse, and it's gotten better. It can go down. Many people I've looked up and researched, it can go down significantly. You can actually with lifestyle changes and so go back inside. You don't have clothes on. Get your butt back inside. Get your butt back inside. Put some clothes on. You're gonna come out here while I'm making a video. Sorry about that. She knows better. She's just messing with me. Clothes. I don't know why these kids never want to wear clothes. She comes home, immediately takes her clothes off. I'm like, just because I make her mom do that doesn't mean that she has to do it. I'm just kidding. I don't make her mom do that. Her mom does that by herself. It's like the girls in the house don't want to wear any clothes. I mean, I don't mind when Sab does that. It really doesn't bother me, but it bothers me when Zoe tries to run through my video naked. Um, so that's inappropriate, right? She's out here like playing with the kiddie pool, and I'm not eating any meat today because my ribs are on the barbecue. So yeah, I just wanted to tell you guys that my score came back. You know, pretty big eye opener. Any of y'all that are still drinking and partying, alcohol is well known to affect your arteries. Drug use well known to affect your arteries. Smoking marijuana definitely does. There's carcinogens in the smoke. All those things have an effect. And I used to play, work hard, play hard. I was always in the gym doing what I had to do. I mean, I probably may have not even be. I mean, I could have had an early heart attack if I wasn't ever working out. Who knows? I've never done it, never did steroids or anything like that. So luckily, yeah, you got one life. This is your opportunity to make a change. If you are on the edge or you're cheating, you're saying, "Oh, I'm eating carnivore," and I can warn you that if you're eating more meat and think that that's carnivore, and you're not taking out the other stuff that needs to come out, then that's also dangerous, right? That's not what you're looking for. You have to do the work, and it will be easy once you do it, right? Once you've gotten through the carbs and you've eliminated all that, you have you don't want to eat the things that hurt you. You really don't. If somebody puts something in front of me, like I don't want to have anything to do with it. This is not what I want. What I really want is things that makes me feel good. Like caffeine. I don't like caffeine anymore. It doesn't do anything for me. Like I have the energy. If you have a diet then you feel that you need to have caffeine in conjunction with your diet, you're on the wrong diet, right? No animals on the planet need to, do something in order to make it till 2 o'clock, or get past their morning, or like whatever. I mean, this like the need for caffeine is to me just as a blatant, obvious, like humans are eating the wrong diet, right? And people want to argue. Look, listen, if you're continuing to eat plants, you will continue to get sick. All plants, vegetables, broccoli, all that stuff. Like fruit may be okay in small amounts. I still don't think that fruit is something you should just eat all the time, right? Because if you replace, problem is most people will replace the carbs and the vegetables and stuff, and then they'll start eating fruit, and they'll just eat just as much fruit as they were eating the other stuff, and that's actually worse, right? So until you've gotten past the addiction and the cravings, I don't think that it's smart to eat fruit at all. I think that it's detrimental to your health. We know that it converts to, can give you fatty liver disease, and it converts to the same thing that alcohol does. So it can be inflammatory in large doses, large amounts. We don't need to eat fruit. I don't think it's bad in moderation. Several other doctors have said that, but I know for me that I do actually feel better without it. When I eat fruit, actually yesterday I had some pineapple. Sabrina sat down on the couch with me and had a little bit, and I picked up maybe 3 pieces. After I had that, my blood sugar tanked. I had checked it, and I was, 68, something like that, and usually it's like 80. Blood sugar crashed. I felt terrible. I literally laid on the couch for like 45 minutes, like, oh, I can't do anything. From pineapple, right? Because I'm so used to not eating it. So pineapple kicked my ass yesterday from like 3 or 4 pieces, little pieces. So when things like that happen to me, I know it's like, okay, we're not eating. That's not what we're supposed to eat. I think pineapple specifically does that to me. I've had other fruit that didn't happen, but I also had it with other stuff. So fruit by itself kicked my ass. So I don't need to eat it. I have no desire. But I just wanted to touch on that. I mean, if any of you guys, I know you guys had a long weekend, and a lot of you probably partied pretty hard, and did some drinking, and probably ate stuff that's whatever. But if I continued on, I probably would have had a heart attack by 45. I'm 37 years old. I probably might have been earlier. Your chances of having a heart attack with a score of 137 in the next 5 years is pretty high. It's like 10 times higher than the average person, regular person. So You gotta make changes. You know, if you need help, feel free to reach out. I'm here to help. That's why I want to help. You know, I want you to be able to feel human and have food freedom. You know, you're not free from food. You have to eat every 2 hours, or you will crash. You are not free. You were bought into the system that was created to make money off of you. The powers that be, the food companies, big pharma, government. You know, like governments are trying to push now for bug-based powder protein. That is disgusting. Please do not ever eat that. Don't eat fake meat that has tons of shitty oils in it. Just eat real food. Don't eat anything powdered. You don't need to supplement. You don't need protein powder or whatever. If your body can take a ribeye or a piece of meat and turn it into fuel for you, right? It doesn't know how. You're not designed to take powder. Stop it. You don't need a shake. You don't need a this or that. Just eat real food. That is what you're supposed to eat. That is how you get health. That is the only way that you're going to get health. When you eat whole food items, right? If it doesn't exist in its way in nature, you know, then don't eat it. And specifically, don't eat vegetables. Stay away from vegetables. You can eat a few pieces of fruit if you want to. I've already explained this, but yeah. So you got to make some choices. You got to make some lifestyle choices, and you know, if you want to be around for a little bit longer, then I recommend doing what you got to do. All right, we'll talk to you guys another time. Bye.